Ryan, James, when was the last time you guys played pinball outside of
Man.
this Nintendo game?
You mean like on the actual
Like
machine?
a real pinball table?
Oh, like a couple weeks ago?
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
What table was it? What table was it?
I don't remember. No,
Okay.
it was just generic.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. It was something I hadn't heard of.
Probably not the Nintendo
No.
pinball
No,
table, if there
not
ever
the
was
Nintendo
one.
pinball table. No.
Yeah.
No, I love
So-
pinball.
Yeah, so this is
I'm always looking
pinball,
for.
Yeah. This is
one of the launch titles for the Nintendo.
that's right.
And James, this is you watching the demo.
Right. Yeah. I left
This is
about
not you playing yet.
No, I'm about to play though. Look out.
Oh boy.
Here
That was
we
pretty
go.
awesome title music, if I do.
Yeah.
say
No,
so.
and I was gonna say like this is almost a
No.
Yeah, this is almost a contender for Excite
Best,
Bike. Really.
Oh yeah.
Although
I
there's no
thought- I thought
music
so.
in the game.
No, there's no
game right
music,
now.
and I was afraid because in that demo there's no sound effects. So
I
I
found
was
that on some of the other Nintendo games.
I was worried
the
about that.
demos Don't have.
Yeah, but the actual game does have sound effects, and that's awesome.
You're having a hard time getting that thing up
Yeah,
there.
I didn't
huh?
really understand the controls at that point. I was very impressed because I kind of thought pinball. I was like, we're gonna get so bored of this.
Right.
Well, I mean, I thought I was gonna get bored of this just
I know,
recording.
I love pinball. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I remember
um,
this one. I remember this.
Yeah,
game.
okay. See, I never
don't-
played this. I
I
did
don't think I
play.
ever played it.
I thought maybe this was on that little like crazy 70,000 game system that you had, James.
It might have been, but I never
maybe.
played it.
Okay.
I've played a lot of other Nintendo pinball games, and I played on the
Crazy.
Game Boy. I played Kirby's Pinball, which is actually
oh, yeah,
very.
That was great.
Oh, it was
Never played
amazing.
that one.
It was very similar with the dual screens here. Like if you fall down the middle or down that side, you go to the bottom half, or you go to screen B or whatever they call it. Here we go. Oh, see.
Nice.
And they do a few things like this, these eggs. Well, it's like, I don't figure any of this stuff out, which is why I think this is a really cool game for the Nintendo. It's because, like,
You don't immediately know everything.
exactly, you do not immediately know everything. It's actually very difficult to figure everything out.
Yeah.
And even when you do figure it out, like, you don't get to experience all of the pieces
Every time.
every time.
Whereas
Yeah.
pinball.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that is
Pinball's
pinball.
always like that. Yeah.
Lots
Pinball's
of
hard.
choices on the main screen. I have no idea, or I guess not lots of choices, just
A and B.
A and B, and I have no idea what the difference is between the two. And in fact, the manual doesn't really go into that.
Do we get to see what Game B is here?
Yeah, I'll definitely do Game B. I'll do a few things that are weird. The first I think is which I think it's coming up pretty soon. Do I go up there now?
This bottom screen looks like, when there's those eggs there, it looks like a face. Like there's the two eyes,
Okay.
the nose, the 100, and then like a...
Yes,
like
you're
a
right. It
pig or
does.
something.
So what you don't see is when you make all of those chickens, and I do this later in the video, but I'll go ahead and say it now. If you make all of those eggs into chickens,
Mhm.
which you do first by cracking the eggs and not going back over them, it makes bumpers on the sides so you can't fall down the sides,
Ooh.
which is really
Nice.
cool.
Right. Do we know what
Um,
the 333 is? How that gets? Does
It's
that
like
ever
a
change?
slot machine mechanic. If you go
Oh.
right, okay, here.
Oh, okay.
And I don't.
Oh.
You don't get to see it there. You don't get to see it very
Damn.
many times because as soon as it happens, I get like super nervous and I die, or I fall down. So, but we do see it at some point.
That's interesting. It doesn't display the high score here on the title screen,
Right.
like some of the other games do.
Yeah, and it does one.
Here.
And then game B doesn't have game A's, and
Right.
due to a malfunction, we don't actually get to see my old high score later in the game.
It looks
it's more
the
of a
same.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is
no,
the same. I
Except
actually
it's 737 instead of 333.
The
right.
initial numbers
Yeah.
at the top. Oh, that's rough. That's rough when that happens.
yeah. So yeah, if you go through that 500 loop, it does the slot machine. If you get all threes, then you get like I don't know 3,000 points. If you get all sevens, you get 7,000 points. If you get the penguins, then it oh this is what the
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You're controlling Mario.
what the
What the
fuck is
hell?
going on right now? I mean,
You got to keep the ball, up.
Yeah.
The platform. I don't know what all the numbers and shit mean.
You
but-
trying to find the combination or something?
yeah, so I had to look that up because I only do that one other time during the game, and and I'm just trying to do it the entire time. I want to get back into that
Yeah.
room because apparently that is the only other room in the game. But at that point, I was thinking there was a lot more secrets. So I was crazy
you, like,
engaged
fishing
in
for
this.
stuff.
Yeah. But the lady up there that's trapped up in that area. I had to look into this because I was like, who is this? And in the instruction manual, it just lists her as Lady.
It's not the princesses in another castle.
No, it's not Princess Peach.
Peach.
No, it's actually Pauline, who was the damsel in distress in Donkey Kong.
Right.
But
Okay.
she was just originally known as Lady.
I see.
And
Pauline.
she
Where
made
did
a couple of other appearances, but then in I guess just the Super Mario Brothers, it changed to
I've
Princess
never
Peach.
heard of Pauline.
Of course you
before.
haven't. No, nobody has.
Some people probably have.
I guess some people have, but
What were the guys'
I
names from King of Kong? Those people that played, Donkey Kong to
If you had asked me,
incessantly.
I could have told you.
Yeah, they probably know Paul.
Yeah, they probably
I just
do.
don't remember.
Because I bet it's
His name.
somewhere in there.
I don't remember. Recently, I guess there's some other pinball game that's maybe recent come out on a bunch of platforms, but they've been talking on the Giant Bomb podcast about pinball, and like I remember, like some of those tables were like Adam's Family table. Like I
Yeah.
remember that one specifically. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
awesome. And the Terminator 2 one, or the
I
Terminator
think by
pinball
far
table.
my favorite pinball table is the Doctor Who. And
I
that-
played
I've
that
never
one.
seen that one.
It was at the
I don't
Taco Bueno by my house, and I
Oh,
spent
yeah.
I spent a lot of time there as a
Over-
child.
The one that's not there anymore, right? The one
Yeah, it's like a flower store or something
yes,
now.
I played there. But that one
Yeah.
also, that place also used to have the submarine game, I think.
Like
No,
pinball
that
or
was a
no?
different one. That was a different place. But yeah,
Okay.
that one had good games.
Yeah, it did. It had Galaga and
Yeah.
I don't know. It had some decent stuff, but mainly I was a pinball fanatic there for Doctor Who, and
Yeah,
I
did
played
you-
the hell out of it. Man.
At that time, did you even like really like know what or who Doctor Who was?
No,
Like,
I didn't.
Yeah.
And like that's what's funny. It's like today I totally know Doctor Who, and
Right.
and it's kind of upsetting, but whenever I hear the theme, I think of that pinball
pinball
machine
table.
in freaking Taco Bueno. You
That's
know?
one thing I miss about those old Taco Buenos. I miss
Yeah.
being able to play those.
That was awesome.
It's awesome games.
Taco Bueno is a Mexican fast food joint in
It's an alternative to Taco Bell that doesn't
Right.
that doesn't kill your intestines quite
Not
as
entirely
much.
sure
I don't
if
know, just
they're
in a different way.
everywhere, but
I love Taco Bueno.
my time there was spent eating a lot of freaking like
Chacos.
yeah, tostadas I was big into, and playing Doctor Who and prank calling people on their payphone there.
God. Payphone.
It was awesome. Yeah, you don't see either of those anymore. You don't
Yeah,
see
pinball machines or
payphones.
yeah.
Well,
I
Doctor
did
Who-
watch. That reminds me. There's that documentary on
Yeah.
Netflix that you told me about, James. I watched that maybe a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. Special when lit.
Yes. Special when lit.
Great.
If you haven't seen that, it's currently on Netflix streaming,
Right.
Not
and it's an
familiar with
amazing pinball documentary.
And it talks about, I guess there's only like one company now in the U.S. that still actively making pinball machines. I think it's like Stern. or
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and they have some like, if you can go to their website, they have some awesome tables like in the works or whatever. And you can buy them. They'll sell them straight to the public.
That's one of those things. You know, a lot of people want a pool table or ping pong table. I want a pinball machine.
Yeah.
I think that'd be money well spent.
I got the bug in high school, and I did a lot of research, and I could be a proud owner, but I just never pulled the trigger because I had the money to do it, and I was just like, I want this, and my parents were even supportive. They're like, well, we'll deal with like whatever, like going to
Getting
pick this
gear.
thing up if you can find a local
Yeah.
machine. I was like, damn it, but I just couldn't. I can never pull the trigger on one particular table,
I always thought it'd be cool to either have a pinball machine or a gauntlet machine.
Oh, dude, Gauntlet would
Gauntlet
be
would've been
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the new one, because I mean the original.
you did
Oh,
it.
see, there it is. Yeah, you get the bumpers on the
nice.
side,
they're
and
great. One-time
immediately,
use.
yeah, immediately you need it.
Yeah.
You see, like, these cards are always the same. They're all
Yeah.
spades.
Oh, okay, I was
Straight,
gonna say
straight
they were
flush.
different.
Yeah, it's a straight flush, and I never actually get it. I don't wanna. That's spoiler. Spoiler alert. I don't get it. But that's just reason to play this. Like,
Yeah, there's lots of little systems and
yeah,
stuff.
lots of little things. Like, I don't know what happens when you get all 7 of those bumpers on the side.
Right.
And then the whole time, I'm like, I gotta get back to freaking Mario. What the hell was that? It was like a breakout
That's
thing.
that's why the physical machines are so much better.
Yeah.
Because you can play those forever. And on the digital ones, I get bored because I feel like it's conspiring against me or something. Because
Yeah.
if you're on the physical machine, you're actually hitting it and you can
Right. You've
kinda
got the
shake the
tactile.
machine and you
feedback
try and
and
shake it
stuff.
just a little bit and not get a tilt and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. The pinball like game that came out recently, I think it is called the Pinball Arcade, and I think it actually have real tables, like a lot of digital
Yeah.
games just make up tables.
Digital
whatever.
representation of the table.
You
Yeah.
know
right.
that one of the first companies to sue people who pirated their games was the company that used to make the old pinball.
Oh, really?
games.
Really?
Yeah, they used to sue a lot of people for
I remember
pirating their
when,
pinball
like,
games.
Windows maybe used to like ship with like some pinball.
They
game,
did.
huh?
Yeah, I want to say like Deep
Uh-huh.
Reef or something. Is that ringing
Yeah,
a bell?
I don't know.
I don't know.
That
I don't
it,
know.
that it shipped with one. I know
Look at this.
there
It
was
just
everyone
bounces
get
up
like
through
Windows Plus or something. There was some thing that a lot of people had, and that had some in there.
Right.
A bunch of screensavers and pinball, if I remember right. Because that's what everyone wanted.
Mhm.
Screensavers and
that.
pinball.
Did you know that Microsoft Word? You guys obviously probably know this, but I don't know. Maybe it was '95. Microsoft Word came with like an Easter egg
Mhm.
that if you like went to
remember
a
how you
certain
did that.
screen and press like Control whatever, there
I
was
don't
a
think I know
pinball.
this.
There
It
was a
was in
pinball
Excel,
game.
wasn't it?
Maybe I don't remember.
There's a pinball.
There was a
in-
pinball game programmed into
Wow.
a Microsoft product of some kind. Yeah, I could look it up. How about that?
Yeah, I don't remember how it worked, but I thought it was Excel. But yeah, it's kind of neat.
Hmm.
I love Easter eggs.
Yeah.
More games should have
Yeah.
Easter eggs, and some of the Easter eggs that they do now are just stupid. But
They're not in the same kind of vein as they
However-
were before.
however, in Batman Arkham Asylum, there was a wall you could destroy and go and look at the plans for Arkham City,
Oh, cool.
and no one did it before Arkham City came out.
Wow.
Are you sure that just wasn't patched into the game after Arkham City was already released?
Pretty sure. I guess no, I'm not 100% sure.
I mean,
But
you're
this was
probably
something where Arkham City came out, and then they basically said, "Hey guys, we're really disappointed that
Did you
nobody
miss
noticed
this?"
this.
Oh, right.
So here it is."
So if you open a new document in Microsoft Microsoft Word 97, you type the word blue, uppercase, you select the word, you go to Format, Font, choose the font style, bold, color blue, type
Crap.
space after the word blue, go to Help, and go to About, Control Shift, left click the word icon banner, use Z for the left flipper, M for the right flipper, and escape to exit, and you're playing
And
That
no one
is
ever
pinball.
accidentally
just-
did that.
that shit crazy.
No one ever accidentally did that.
No, that's someone just mucking around in the you
I
know,
guess
source files or something.
that's
has
almost
to
like
be.
too far in the direction of like hiding the Easter egg too well. I
There,
mean, there's kind of a fine line between making it super easy to see and
I think
just-
that's awesome. I think that's the sort of thing that it doesn't
Well,
come
yeah.
out until the next version is out.
Yeah.
There was another one where a guy wanted to propose to his wife, and he put a little room in something. It did something in the game where you had to put something in like 15 times.
Was this recent?
No, this was a long time ago. But
Okay.
his wife, he gave a copy of it to his wife, and he gave her the codes and all
Mhm.
these codes, and he gave it to her to play, or his girlfriend at the time gave it to her to play, and she said she played it, and she didn't say anything about the proposal, so he didn't do
Kind
anything.
of left it alone, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like 2 years later that someone finally like sent his wife a letter telling her to do this thing.
Dude,
Right.
that's freaking weird. Wow. He just let it sit for 2
Yeah, that'd be
years?
Years.
What an
Maybe
asshole.
maybe he decided like maybe I don't want to marry this person, so he's just gonna let it go.
Yeah, that was like his
Hoping
test.
that was
No,
his
she
out.
said that she played it, and apparently she didn't. I just think that's yeah.
Wow.
Easter eggs are weird.
You know what this game is missing is multi-ball.
Yes, yeah, I
That's
thought
what
that
it
too
needs.
when I was playing. I was like, multi-ball would be cool, but then I didn't know at the time that
They'll do that.
it was not even an option. I thought surely
Yeah.
something I'm doing here is going to create multi-ball.
Right. But how would that work with like the whole two-screen thing? I mean, where you're not seeing the entire table at the same time. You know, what happens when the balls
Well,
go?
you just go towards the bottom, and then they just fall down.
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
guess.
think. That's, I mean, because that's how I guess you would play it in real life. I guess it just depends on the
Well,
point structure.
Well, I mean, if you think about it in real life, or I think in more modern pinball games, you just zoom out to see the entire.
Right.
In real life, you just zoom out. Yeah. Just
You're
step
looking
away
for
from the machine.
Yeah. You just zoom out.
zoom in and zoom out.
So I guess I was probably on another page at the time, but I didn't realize. I went to two-player mode, and I didn't realize that two-player. I didn't think about it enough ahead of time, but two-player requires a second controller, and
Right.
What, you just sit there or something?
yeah, it just sits there. So I start. I just I reset the ROM or whatever.
Has that already happened, or is that?
Yeah, it already happened
Oh,
at some
I
point.
didn't-
That's why the I didn't have like a high score for the last game I played. So
And have you?
notice that.
I haven't noticed.
Now this looks cheat. See, this is when you tap the side of the machine to keep it from
Yeah, just
make it keep doing that.
yeah, keep doing that because that's awesome. It does that a few times too. Like it's crazy.
What gets you an extra ball? Is that only in that Mario stage, or
I have no
is it just
idea.
points? Do we know?
No, I don't. I think
Maybe-
it is a certain number of points. Maybe it's 25,000. That
Well,
doesn't
let's
sound right. I bet it's
see.
more than that.
Yeah, I would think it'd be-
Ball.
I didn't even see it in the manual. I read the manual, and it reads like it's very technical. As most of these like release titles are, they're very technical. It seems like there's less fluff.
Right, and it's just all about here's.
Yeah, it's like this is the
things you
table,
can
and
do.
explains each part of the table in very
Sure.
like precise, like technical writing, almost excessively so. But I had a lot of fun with this. I think
Yeah.
that I think this is contender for best release title.
Yeah,
I'd
I
say-
think it's something that you could play for 10 minutes or for a long time, and there's lots of stuff to see. and do.
Yeah, yeah, and even if you've seen it before, you probably don't see it often, unless you're just really good. Which
Now, if there was a
obviously not.
designer for this,
Oh, here we go, Mario level. Oh, I'm like, what the hell? Oh, and I
Okay,
already
so I
missed
think,
it.
so yeah, if you have to turn all of the things of the same number, the same color, turn them red.
Yeah.
And then it makes the thing a little bit shorter. And if you miss her when she falls, then you lose a ball.
Yeah. So it's
Problem is he goes slow. He runs
yeah,
slowly.
he runs really
well,
slow.
and it just doesn't happen often enough, and you're not prepared to like
Yeah, it's
use
total
these
shit.
other. You're like, oh my
Oh
gosh.
god, there's no paddles.
Oh, what's going on? Yeah.
What is making the seals do that?
It's
Was
going
that
up
Go up
that
to the left thing.
getting all
yeah,
those dots.
Yeah, you do
Okay.
the dots on the left side. You get a lot of points for that.
And those penguins are from
Yeah.
Is that from Ice Climber?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
I
maybe.
thought they were from some game that we've
Not
already
Ice Climber. Ice Climber was Seals.
Eskimo.
You're right. No, it wasn't seals because that was the Japanese version.
Well, yeah. Okay, so it wasn't it wasn't penguins either. It was
Bubbling
Yetis.
penguins. That's right.
It was Yetis for the American version, and then
Yeah, I guess I thought we'd seen those.
Seals. The Seals, though, could potentially be, I guess, because they're seals.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we've seen penguins yet.
Okay, they just look like they belong in some other Nintendo game.
They do.
I think they probably are from something. I don't know. That's a good question. So if you get all three penguins, then you get stoppers on the top level.
Yeah, you don't get it on the side. You get it in the middle.
Oh.
I did read that. Like it'll be like between the flippers in the middle, which is generally not the problem. The problem up at the top seems to be that chute to the left. At least for me, you know.
Right.
Did you say, James, if there's any mention in the manual about that bonus stage?
There
It
is.
just says late,
Yeah,
okay.
it does. It does talk about the
Because I was going to
bonus stage.
say that I was just looking into box art is that
I
little
know,
Mario
and that's what I
guy,
thought
so
was
it's
really.
like,
I thought that was really weird too.
that's
If that
kind of
was
an
the
interesting
actual
choice.
box art, it's like, way to pick the thing that is the most
Yeah, you see the least.
random. Yeah, that's weird. All right, well we've got about 10 seconds left here, guys.
Well, yeah. Well, thanks for watching the Big Skill video. I'm Michael.
I'm Ryan.
I'm James.
See you next time.
Pinball.